in particular western New York, where we've got that big batch of rain. But you note that we have a level 2 risk for severe weather today stretched down into Pennsylvania. I'd be interested to see if that holds, because we are robbing the atmosphere of so much of that instability right now. Can it kind of reinforce itself?
Yeah. One of the ingredients that the Storm Prediction Center will analyze, and really it's not until the afternoon that you see how things are destabilizing, will be this this contour you see. The yellow is convective available potential energy. It's CAPE. There's a fancy way of saying instability in the atmosphere. And there's an indication in western PA that by 1 o'clock, if that front just wafts a little farther to the north, we get enough instability that cooks up, and that could lead to a storm threat. I don't want to discount, though, what will be seen west of western PA through Chicago. A decent signal here. There are days, though, that things are so unstable and the atmosphere is so buoyant that you just get a lot of activity, a lot of rain, a lot of storms, and perhaps that's what we may see in.
And it's one thing, too, that they had noted in their discussion was these kind of collapsing storms. Then you have outflow boundaries that smash in together, and then you've got more storm development.
Yeah.
So the real forcing here is not necessarily the spin of that low or a charging cold front. It's just, as you mentioned, that boundary that kind of waffles north and south. And if we can get it to push to the north this afternoon, we've got warmth, moisture, all of which that will help to refuel the atmosphere.
And the heavy rain, where we're looking this morning from Syracuse to Utica down to Buffalo, we will have a decent signal. Heaviest rain seems to fall farther to the west, but the reason why the flood concern exists here is because we are dealing with an element of higher rivers than normal because of the recent snowmelt. It takes a while for that to all leave the network of rivers and dump into our oceans. The threat by tomorrow, hey, I finally got to it. It took me an hour. It does exist, not as high, but we'll see. It does still involve that same boundary, though, that will be wafting north and south, kind of doing a windshield wiper, kind of, throughout the next
Notice it displaced a little to the south compared to where all the coverage will be today. Just speaks to, again, kind of allowing the atmosphere to recover overnight. But, hey, new this hour, too, today's severe weather threat expanded and then upgraded in the plains. Heads up, Oklahoma, North Texas. In their 9 o'clock update, the Storm Prediction Center adding a level 2 risk to the categorical outlook for parts of the region there. We still have an isolated risk of severe weather that stretches up the I-35 corridor, Wichita, Kansas City. But this is kind of a secondary zone that we're going to have to watch for as we head into this afternoon. Thunderstorms expected to develop here as we pull through the back half of the day. I think largely speaking, reading the discussion, it does seem as though we could see isolated discrete cells that then initially bring along with it dry line focused, so a hail threat, and then we could see perhaps an isolated twist or a damaging wind gust or two. But this is kind of setting the stage in the plains for what will become a more active outlook heading into the back half of this week, into this weekend. A lot of it having to do with the breakdown of the pattern upstairs, more troughing on the west coast, ridging trying to establish itself on the east coast is what's then going to bring this zone in the mix of repeated kind of rounds of severe weather.
Active period, it's what happens in spring. And I mean, even acknowledging the fact that we have a dry line already present, you know, you don't need storms to have a dry line. No surprise that we've seen that extension, you know, today. Not a ton of energy. I think tomorrow's threat is greater. The ceiling's a little higher, so the intensity of the storms might be a little bit higher too. The fact is, though, this is a time of year that you, if you like severe weather, you love this time of year. You love it. But
I mean, I had mentioned, when's the last time we had 5 days of an outlook on the board? Some of which that will probably be extended into the weekend. We haven't gotten Saturday or Sunday
You're right.
just yet. And there does seem to be a focus, perhaps back in the Ohio Valley, maybe working its way through the Tennessee Valley in the southeast, where we could see severe weather for the Easter weekend. But let's focus in on tomorrow's risk, Kansas City to North Texas. Kind of a same threat zone that we're going to see later this evening. All hazards on the table. I think the tornado risk is definitely something of note because it's not necessarily the top threat on the board for today. It was not on the top threat board yesterday. But getting back into tomorrow, we're looking at that dry line initiation, discrete cells, and you find that one supercell that latches into that environment, you kind of just get about everything with it.
And with the dry line that's going to be there and also present on Thursday and Friday, this is going to be a zone that gets worked over, I think, from a severe weather side. It is it's the traditional tornado alley that we see the storm threat. It's not a type of event that looks like things are off the charts, but we do have a lot more instability to work with tomorrow compared to today. And it does look like we'll have enough energy ejecting the Rockies and forming that area of low pressure that's going to help drag the boundaries through.
A little snow up through the Rockies. And a dry line again, just talking about the division of that drier, dense air that we see on the backside of that boundary, typically displaced to the west, and then you get all of that moisture that feeds up out of the Gulf and kind of sets the stage for those storms to develop. So looking at that late afternoon and evening on Wednesday, and then we shift that risk into the Ohio Valley yet again, Chicago, for Thursday. Yeah,
usual suspects, the ones that have to watch for severe weather is what we saw in March. There is something in Florida.